and welcome back to yet another exciting week of the Lazy Money Game. In this week's episode, I'm going to give a short update on my portfolio. So the first thing we immediately notice is that there's a red circle for this week's episode, meaning that the portfolio is down in value compared to last week. If we go to the portfolio values tab here and then scroll all the way to the bottom, we can see that the portfolio has dropped $5,700 compared to last week. And if we look at the graph over here, we can see that we actually have to go all the way back to week 24 to see a drop of the same significance, or a little more significant actually. The next thing that we note is that the cost of the portfolio has not increased, meaning that I have not done any new investments. So if we go back to the overview arc here and scroll to the top, just to once again show you all the holdings in the portfolio, and once again I have to apologize that this Google Finance function is still not working for Beatrice, so I actually had to type in the value, the most recent value for Beatrice manually here, just to be able to show you my pie chart. But as you can see on the percentage change over here, some of the companies in the portfolio has actually taken quite a beating this week. If we then continue to my favorites tab, namely the dividends tab, then we can see that I have received a little more than $30 this week, and the $30 actually came from Pfizer. So if you are new to this channel, then you would perhaps ask, how can you receive dividends from a company which are no longer in your portfolio? And that is actually the whole key phrase, no longer. So let me go to Seeking Alpha and explain you why. So if we turn to Seeking Alpha and look up Pfizer and then go to the dividends and the dividend scorecard and scroll down here, then you can see that the ex-dividend date was the 29th of July. And since I had Pfizer in my portfolio at this particular day, that means that I'm entitled to this dividend even though I decide to sell the share at a later point in time. So that meant that I actually got the dividend here on the 7th of September. If we then go back to the overview again here, one very natural question to ask at this point in time is, of course, why am I still sitting on close to $13,000 in cash? Why haven't I reinvested that money into some of the companies in the portfolio, or perhaps into a new investment? And the honest answer is there's actually no good explanation for this. So currently I'm still sitting and investigating and trying to figure out where I want to deploy my money. And as soon as I have done it, I will of course show it here on the channel. So one of the questions which I have previously been asked is, where do I go and search for inspiration? How do I get inspired to look into a business to see whether or not it fits into my portfolio? So I always try to add some value to my content, and this week is no exception. So this week I will share a link called Data Roma, where you can see all the super investors' portfolios and what are the top 10 buys within the last quarter and what are the top big bets. In here you have all the major players, and I mean, we are talking about Berkshire Hathaway, we have Charlie Munger, we have Michael Burry, you have Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, you have Carl Icahn, you have Seth Kleinman, you name it, they are all in here. So of course I will leave a link in the description below to this webpage, since it can be quite useful to get some inspiration from. So that actually sums it up for yet another exciting week of the Lazy Money Game. So if you enjoy content like this, then please consider leaving a like or a comment or subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. And until I see you next time, bye!